Welcome back to Sail Guys. Today we are covering world premieres, brand new things from the sailing industry that you've never seen before. So we're covering everything from motors to boats to sails to all sorts of bits and bobs. We're going to start with North Sails right here. So these guys, obviously world's biggest sail maker, but this is the first time they've joined the sustainable revolution. This is the Renew cloth, which is pretty sweet. It's cool to see such a big brand in the business getting involved with sustainable sailing. So what it does, it's like a laminate kind of feel to it, but what it is it's Dyneema inside here, okay? So it's 3 layers, Dyneema in the middle, and the Dyneema is actually made from wood pulp. So that's your difference here, and all the plastic is made from recycled plastics, which is really quite nice. Now, sail-wise, it's aimed at 30 to 45 footers, and at 45 foot you get the Dyneema stringing in it to give it that extra durability, and below at around 30 you get a more sort of traditional kind of sailcloth feel to it, but really high performance for performance cruises. Really cool. So moving on from North Sails, we've got some decking I want to show you about. The decking is, well, what can we say about decking? Teak decking? We're not going to go that way these days, are we? It's not really quite so good. So let's see what the guys at Navicork who got to go. Alright, so cork's nothing new in the marine market anyway. It's a fantastic material for building boats or using for decks. What it is it's exceptionally good at thermal conduction, so it's like really good for insulating, you know, but it's also good for sound. So those are the aluminium boats or steel boats. You want to keep that heat down, you want to keep that noise down as well. This stuff's fantastic, and it's absolutely brilliant for durability. Now, there is lots of other cork products on the market, but the things that Navicork have done different, really what they do is, it's the way that they put it together. They're the only company in the world with the technology which allows them to compress it to this level. So with the resins that are involved, which is minuscule resins because it's compressed so tight, it still remains massively ecologically friendly. It's by far the most sustainable decking material that you could put on your boat. The caulking strips here are just for decoration, so you don't even need to use those. But what's really nice is how robust this stuff is, and like a lot of sort of table mat style caulk decking can come apart and get little bits missing, which to be fair is easy enough to replace and fix. This one doesn't have that problem. It's way more durable, so the guys tell us. So look forward to seeing how this goes, and it's the first venture into the marine market as well, which is quite exciting, and by the looks of it they've completely nailed it. So anyway, I think it's time we left decks and moved along. Cheers guys, Udo, thanks very much, mate. Cheers now. Oh, hello again. Hello again. Yeah, right. So next up we've got a motor. Motors are par for the course these days. Everyone's pulling out something awesome. The guys from ePropulsion have this, which is the, I don't know if you call it the Elite or the E-Light. Either way, it's super light. It's 6.7 kilos and it is absolutely tiny. It's super light, kind of built to go on your nice light tenders and that kind of stuff. In the water, it does what a Pronto should do, really. It's pretty cool. This system pulls out, goes up and down. You can lock it in a position too. You turn it one way, you turn it the other way. It is what it is, you know. What they've done here is they basically try to create a motor which is as simple as can be and bring the price point down. So it's 975 British pounds. You're getting a 500 watt motor, so it's pretty good for dinghies and tenders. The weight, like I say, right down low, 6.7 kilos. Runtime is about 40 minutes on full chat. And if you want to slow it down, you get a range of about 3 miles from it. So again, it's, you know, the guys are good at what they do. There's no question about that. Dropping the prices, making it simple, making it easy for us. It still has the ability to charge via solar. It still has the ability to charge via 240, and you can charge via 12 volt systems as well. It's got the usual sort of readouts on here. It's a bit more simplified this time, just to keep the weight down, but you can plug your phone into it via, well, not plug it in, but you can attach your phone via wireless systems to get all of the usual data if you so want that. And yeah, it's pretty sweet. This little thing lifts straight off. I can't remember how you do that. I won't break it because... Sorry?
Blue one.
The blue one.
Yeah. Always is blue you can take.
Ah ha ha! Lift the blue one, comes straight off, and this obviously stays on the transom.
6.5 kilo.
It's perfect. Just what the world needs, maybe. So there we go. ePropulsion have done what they do, again. Let's shift on, and we're going to check out some sales, another world premiere for a sail company, and then I'm going to move on with some funky digital switching, which is a bit cool, and then actually there's something really cool after that as well, so let's get moving. Woo. Okay, so Elstrom. These guys pretty legendary sail makers. World premiere here on the Xylo cloth. So this is it's kind of like a double tafter setup, but unlike a traditional membrane sail, this thing has 360-degree sort of yarns thrown in there, so it can take forces in every direction. But I think what they've done nicely here, it's got a weird waxy feeling on it, which I don't know what that's all about actually, but it's kind of part of the process when they were speaking to the guys about this. But what is cool is it's going to last 20 to 30% longer than a membrane sail, but have the same performance advantages of a membrane sail, which if you're into cruising, wanting to go fast, and you want your dollar to last a little bit longer, that's a good way to start. And of course, it looks pretty cool. It's all a bit Batman in black. Speaking of cool stuff, right now I'm going to take a wander in the super yacht hall and find some cool stuff over there. Because in the super yacht hall, things get swish. In lots of big... Hang on a minute, what's this? Fido. Life jacket, Fido. Guys, what is the story with Fido?
Fido?
How do you hold the dog like this? You hold him like this?
I know. Like a handbag. It's like a handbag. You just carry him like this.
He's lovely.
It's just a new product, so it's like for dog.
I don't know where to hold him. It's
Here,
just like that. Yeah, I know.
It's like a handbag.
I'm trying to show the product, but I don't want to hold him by the tail. I certainly don't want to go that in.
You can also hold him like this. No, it's okay. But most swimmers do have like more like the material up here. But with our swimmers, it's down here, so it keeps the dog like a little bit lifting it up, you know. So it's a pretty good one.
So it's
just released yesterday.
Oh, cool. So it's a buoyancy aid, right?
Yes.
And that's it. There's no inflation. It's just buoyancy.
No, it's just Right.
Different sizes?
Different sizes, 3 of them. This is a small one.
Okay.
Then we have an extra small, and then we do have like a large one for the bigger ones. Yeah.
And if you got a handbag dog, keep it in your handbag. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, Fido, you behave. I want to take him to super yacht hall with me. Cheers, guys.
Yes.
Ciao. Okay, so no stranger to bling is ASW Domotic from the guys at Amer. So the Amer group are primarily looking at marine stuff and blinging it up quite a lot in every possible way. The stuff is absolutely fantastic and bomb-proof. They've taken a leap into electronics, and it's the first ever digital switching system which has been specifically designed from the ground up for the marine usage. It's based on a backbone system which is entirely customizable, and each unit is customized to the owner of the vessel that it's going on to. So it consists of various gateways and relays and switching systems which are all controlled by the central panel. This is connected to an NMEA 2000 system, so it's compatible with your Simrads, your Garmins, your BMGs, your Raymarines, all that kind of stuff. Water tankage, engine modules and all the rest can be run into it. We can see what's happening with your portholes, for example. You can have hatches like that. We've got what else have got going on actually? It's actually quite remarkable. The chain counter itself, that's quite nice. The chain counter is incorporated, so when you switch your windlass on, the chain counter is feeding into the NMEA 2000 system, and it is then shown on your chart plotters, etc., etc. What is cool is the way that it's been specifically designed for the marine world, in the redundancy is catered for, and by that I mean that normally a system will talk from here to here. But this system is kind of what they call a mesh integration. So this system speaks to this system and this system and this system, which in turn ends up here to a gateway to your chart plotter. If one is to go kaput, this one is not necessarily going directly here. It can go via here to go here. So if one system breaks, you've got redundancy all over the whole system because the whole system's talking to each other. It's super clever. And then to top off redundancy, again, really, really cemented as being safe. All your switching is here, so it's manual overrides. and all of your fusing is here. So just like a straightforward standard system, there it is. Saving you 70% less weight in wire and a hell of a lot less faff. So really, really good for those thinking about new boat buildings and other people who are looking just to upgrade as well. I think it's really, really cool. I think they've got a lot more in the pipeline. Can't wait to see what it is. But right now we need to go and look at some boats. This place is just crazy. I mean, I don't think it matters how many times you come here. It's still just so bizarre to come to a place where the boats are inside, yet at the right heights and with the keels on, you can look around them and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Solaris here take it to another level. There's some bling 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 going on, of course. We've got the oysters in here. You've got the new Halberg Rassi. I think the biggest boat in the show is a 57 or is it 59? Hard to remember. I've seen that many of these things at the moment. So we've got Arcona, we've got Swan. And of course, those guys really know their boats. But what we're here to see is the British legends and that spirit. These guys, if you like classy boats and you know you're looking out for quality, then there's a whole new world to be seen right here. Let's take a little wander in. These guys don't actually have a boat on show here. They've got a little bit of their workmanship, their craftsmanship to show you, but the stand itself kind of tells you what's going on. These guys are like the elite in wooden boat building. This is the deck house that we recently did. This is the actual boat that we took a tour on in Southampton. You can check that episode out in the description. It's absolutely stunning. But they've got their cool little model here of the 111. So no less to say that is absolutely huge. The classical styling on these things is just insane. They come from the heritage of regattas and, you know, classic racing like that, and they've just kept it going. Beautifully made wooden construction boats. The new one, they've taken a bit of a leap forward, and it's just absolutely stunning. For me, as a traditional boat builder, that's what I trained as. This is like absolutely fantastic. Really, really nice to see. So hopefully we'll pop down and see these guys, see what they're doing, check them out with the build process and where they're going on with that. But we'll move on from that and we'll take a wander back. We're going to look at some motors and a few other bits and bobs that we find along the way, which you might need for long distance cruising. Cheers, guys. So this is the motor company. This is Blue Nav. And yeah, world premiere of the Blue Nav motor. This is a 15 kilowatt motor. It's kind of cool. I quite like it. It's predominantly being used on motorboats at the moment, but that doesn't mean it's gonna stay like that. And I kind of hope they go into the sailing world a bit more. Basically, this is a pod drive. It goes on the, excuse me, who's that whistling at me? So it's a pod drive and it goes on the bottom of a boat. So this is retractable. It goes up and down, which means you lose the drag and all the rest of it. And it's pretty cool. Quite often they put two of these on and they can take up to 20-meter boats flying along at 8 knots. 15 kilowatt motors. And it's the blade that makes this unique. It's the shape of a whale. I forget the fancy word they use. But basically what it's involving here is less drag and more efficiency through nature, basically. Taking inspiration from the old animal kingdom. Pretty cool. We can spin it by hand so it acts like a bow thruster. You can press a button and it whips it straight round to twin if you have twins. So you get a bow thruster going either side and then you just tell it which way you want to go. It also has a really cool system where it can be attuned to GPS, which means you can say stay put. And because this thing can rotate 360 degrees, like an anchor, it'll hold you static using GPS to keep you where you are. It's a really, really, really cool, straightforward system with a lot of tech built into it. I think it's going to go quite far, and I just really want to see them spin that round and then be able to work with hydrogeneration. So us guys on sailing boats can, you know, benefit from being able to drop something down and then hydrogenerate. Anyway, what else we got going on? Let's have a look. Well, I'll tell you what, we should drop by here. You want to see what Ultra anchors have got on at the moment. It's insane. So Ultra, of course, beautiful anchors. We all know this system here. Can I squeeze through here? Just about. Absolutely great pieces of kit. This thing here, it's kind of a sandblasted thing. It's the same thing, but it just looks way cool. But look at this. 250 kilos worth of anchor. I mean, where on earth are you going to get that? But what we need to show you really is a little sneak preview of what's going on around here. You can't buy this yet. This is a sneak preview of side anchor system, so anyone with bigger kind of motor sailors, that stuff, you can be thinking about some bling for your boat there. This is going to be, I think, sizes up to, I can't remember now. It's ridiculous the size of this is going up to. But on a cool note, this is actually going to be dropping right down to 5 or 6 kilos in aluminium for those of us with smaller boats and maybe want cool kedge anchors and stuff like that. So apparently holding power is awesome. It's not out yet. It's a quick sneak preview. It's probably not going to be out for quite a while, but it's happening and the guys are on it. Right, let's go. Right, so Luma on the way there. So these guys have pulled off this out of the bag, which I think is really sweet. Must make sure it's still locked. We don't want to lose a hatch door. I've done that once already. So this is the standard Luma hatch profile and the standard Luma ocean hatch. And this is like, it's not a flush one. I think it's about 12 mil tall. And it fits in exactly the same holes. So if you want to modernize your boat, bring it up to sort of that kind of cool looking flush thing that everyone's going for now, this fits directly into the same hole as the previous one. It's quite nice. So if you got old damaged hatches and you want to make things look cool, this is the way to go. Let me just flip it open. Show you inside. So on the top, it's remained that flush look. And they've done that by being able to use a wind channel, so everyone's got one of them on their boat. And that's it. Quite a simple, straightforward system. Works quite neat. Sealed around the top. I mean, it's clearly not designed to be used at sea when sailing with the ropes around and whatnot, but I think the thing is, it's, you know, when you're at sea, you shouldn't have your hatches open, and that's the end of that, really. So in the closed position, she's nice and solid, and that should get us into a place where you can be as safe as you were with the ocean system, with a really cool flush look to the deck, less to clobber your feet on and all that stuff. But that's not really what we're on our way to see. Let's go see what else we can find. Watermakers, I think, would be a good place. So Watermakers, of course, something that we all need when we're crossing oceans, unless you've got massive tanks, of course, but then most of us don't. So Watermakers have become an inherent part of blue water cruising. The guys from Ocean Spring Watermakers are going to talk us through this. Good to see you, mate.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. So tell me about this. 25 litres Watermaker, exceptionally efficient, I believe.
Yeah, it's a Clark pump style water maker, so it's very efficient, almost next to nothing in energy consumption. It's available up to 100 liters per hour.
Yeah. So next to nothing is 9 amps for 25 litres.
Exactly, yeah.
And as you go up the range, they pretty much stay pretty good.
But still stays good, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
so amps per litre remain similar.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. And so you stand by your "by sailors, for sailors" motto, right?
Exactly, so it's very rugged, simple systems, no complex electronics, good quality components at a fair price.
And what about spare parts? How do we do spare parts and things like that?
You can get spare parts from us.
Yeah.
We deliver everywhere in the world.
Okay.
So there's complete rebuild kits in case somebody goes on a big trip.
Yeah. There you
Nothing
go.
to worry about.
There we have it. And regarding the pumps that you use, if we were, say, in French Polynesia and the pump broke, what would happen?
You need to have a pump delivered, but we will support you in that.
You support
Get a
that?
pump to you, yeah.
There's a service for you, hey. So like we say, by sailors, for sailors, which I think is really important because they understand the needs of the cruiser. All right, Julian, thanks so much, mate.
Thanks, Chris.
Can I pinch my mic?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, buddy.
Welcome. Thank
Cheers,
you.
man. We'll see you in a bit, eh? So that pretty much wraps it off for this episode. Now, we've got more coming from Boat Dusseldorf. We've got a whole video all about innovations and what's going on in the marine industry in that way. So new products and new cool little tricks and things like that happening. And Sail Hub is always going to be bringing that information from the industry about new technology, new boats and new things happening, as well as helping you make the right decisions on your products and how you use your boat and what kind of boat to buy. So do like, do subscribe, help us come back to more wonderful places like this, and we'll see you next time.